And it's just Kafka-esque.
As far as the courts go, we filed our case, and in October 2002, 3 months after we filed our case, the Attorney General, at the time this was John Ashcroft, came out publicly and invoked the state secrets privilege in my case. Less than 2 years later, the same Attorney General invoked the state's secrets privilege for the second time in my case. This time, I was deposed by these attorneys who were representing 9/11 family members. And they wanted to ask me a few questions, and I was one of their key witnesses. So the Attorney General invoked the state secrets privilege for the second time. And this time, they actually specifically stated all the information that they considered to be classified. And among these pieces of information were, and still are today, I know my languages were mentioned, the foreign languages that I speak a few minutes ago. Well, that information is considered top secret classified and covered by the state secrets by the Justice Department as we speak today. Even though there are thousands of websites that have published this information, because we have had statements by congressional members referring to my position as language specialist, which during the second state secrets privilege invocation, the Attorney General said, my position with the FBI was classified, language specialist. I cannot say, I could not answer anything related to the fact that I worked for the FBI as a language specialist.
And it's just Kafka-esque.
They went further than that. They said, where I was born was covered by the state secrets privilege. They did, and this is documented. And sadly, a judge, a federal judge, a federal court, they said, okay, we'll consider it a state secrets privilege. And I kept asking, I said, well, what am I going to do? My passport has this information, my birth certificate has this information. Where do I keep this information? Do I just turn these documents to the government and say, put it inside one of your skiffs? What am I going to do with it?
And it's just Kafka-esque.
They said, and again, this is documented, and the judge ruled on it, and the judge agreed with it. They said that my birth date, my date of birth is top secret classified and covered by the state secrets privilege. You know, it is Kafka-esque. It is funny in a way because, and it's so very sad at the same time, because, again, I was saying, well, next time if I'm pulled over by a cop for speeding or for passing the red light, and they say, ma'am, would you please give me your driving license? I'm going to say, well, I'm sorry, officer, I can't give it to you. It's classified.
And it's just Kafka-esque.
Yes, they classified my date of birth. They classified the universities I attended. Again, another piece of information you divulged, violating the Justice Department's secrecy and classification order. They classified the degrees I have.
And it's just Kafka-esque.
In fact, this particular judge had one line saying, I know this is draconian, but who am I to argue with the government, in this case the FBI, on matters related to national security?
And it's just Kafka-esque.
The judge has to provide you with any reasons. Again, this is part of court record. You can go and check it. We do not have to provide you with any reasons. My attorney, she stood up and argued the case about the state secrets privilege. She said, here there is an Inspector General's office, which came out about a month before the court date, that says her allegations were confirmed. They were all supported by other witnesses and documents. And the only reason the FBI fired her was due to the fact that she reported these issues. And this is their own Inspector General. And this was posted on the Inspector General's website. So my attorney said, well, here is the report, it's public. We have statements from certain congressional members. And they have initially investigated the case, and they have said that, yes, she's right, even the FBI during classified and unclassified meetings have confirmed her allegations. And you can't throw the entire case based on the state secret's privilege. Give us a chance to show you, to depose witnesses, to show you documents. So she argued the case. And then she sat down. And at this point, the three-panel judges, they said, thank you very much. Now we are going to ask you, the plaintiff and the attorneys for the plaintiff, to step out because the government is going to argue its case. We stepped out. Actually, we were escorted. The guards, the court, they escorted us out. And they locked the doors. And they stood there because they were afraid, I guess, we would go and eavesdrop. We waited there for about 15 minutes while the government attorneys argued the case. I don't know, we don't know what they told the judges. They were all classified. And I, the plaintiff, my attorneys could never know what they argued. As far as we know, they could go and give the most outrageous lies. There was no one there to challenge them. So they could. Therefore, we assume that they did. Because a few weeks later, the judges ruled, they upheld the lower court's ruling, and they said, yes, this case is covered, the entire case is covered by the state secret's privilege.
And it's just Kafka-esque.
I keep using the word Kafka-esque because I really can't come up with a better word